Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin.
There's a crazy sound all over this microphone. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but
it sounds fine here. And you have a scratchy, sexy voice, Jackie. I don't know if people are going to be able to handle you on a Monday morning.
It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, Laurie. I have a dry cough these days that I'm not pleased with, and I recommend no one else have it. I don't recommend getting it, is what I'm saying. It's a terrible idea. I seem to have I'm not drinking enough water. It seems to be what it is. What is it? It's the middle of the night there. You're in New York. I'm in LA.
It's 1 a.m.
1 a.m.
1 a.m. on Saturday night. I did 5 sets tonight.
Wow.
I hate right now. I never want to do comedy again.
Oh my God.
Just for now, maybe just not tonight.
Just for now. Just how about never again this evening? Maybe not. Do you have a set tomorrow?
No, I'm flying out tomorrow afternoon. Sorry. Just like a lot of tourists in town.
Mm-hmm.
And I just felt like it was because I worked almost one club this entire weekend.
Right.
And it just felt like everybody was like kidnapped from the Port Authority and driven to the comedy club and forced at gunpoint to sit in the audience.
Right. There used to be a way to describe all of those guys. Like they had members only jackets, or they were wearing, everybody was wearing, what was that? There was some sort of, there's often a popular, I think it's Crocs with flashlights on them now, or cameras.
It was all over the map. Gender, it was everybody. It was just like, people, I kept going, did I say this joke wrong? Like I literally kept thinking I must have been saying things wrong. One of the shows this tonight, some guy was like, he just started yelling, "Go woke, go broke," or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God.
What does that even mean?
It's something Trump supporters say because with the Bud Light thing and the trans gal that did a little tiny ad for them, and Bud Light lost a ton of money.
Okay.
So yeah.
So what are they're saying? Go broke?
No, go woke, go broke. That's the.
Oh, I see. It's
It's just it's a version of Let's Go Brandon before Biden took it over and made it cool.
Right.
Dark Brandon.
Right.
Yeah.
He reclaimed Brandon. He reclaimed it.
I love it.
Oh, right. What I always find interesting is when the Nazis and the racists use the word woke and don't understand that came from the Black community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm just like, I thought you didn't like them. What just happened? It's
yeah, they kind of flip it around and use it their own way as words start to spin off and bounce around.
They forget where they came from.
Yeah, and people take them and turn them into their own things. I mean, I'm using it in my special just to be irritating. I fully admit that. I want to irritate the right people.
Congratulations. And you don't want to irritate the wrong people. I am admirable. I did a bunch of sets. I did a Filipino restaurant, Cucina Filipina in Eagle Rock on Wednesday. And a hell of a lineup. Sarah Schaefer, Maria met me there. We did Joke Machine before the show.
Yeah.
Caldero went up. All good comics. Audience weirdly quiet, weirdly not giving it up to the MC or anyone. And he was really funny too. And everybody, was a great show. I brought home leftovers. It was very delicious. And there is a Filipino restaurant on Eagle Rock. There you go. And then the next night I did the Vintage Place. Yes, Baby Vintage store on Magnolia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that one, that was the audience there was like 25 of the just a pile of just the happiest thems I've ever seen in my life. They were adorable. They were adorable. They could not have been more supportive. They were really, really supportive. They were supportive about things some guy got up and made fun of him, and they just kind of shut down a little bit, and then they're like, he's kidding. And I was like, not sure if he is, but I don't blame him.
Right. It's interesting how many stores also do stand-up comedy. It just seems like an odd that seems to persist, especially in Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles, it seems a better a chance of getting a chance to perform in a hat store than anywhere else.
Right.
So, yes.
Yep. Yeah. So I worked on one bit mostly, and then I just, after my first set on yesterday, I was like, oh fuck, I need to get some more accessible material from the catalog, the Laurie Kilmartin catalog.
Well, you went. I go to the vault. You go to the catalog.
Yes.
You do have a catalog, so it helps.
Sure. And I remember just enough to be able to pull it off. But I was like, what? Why? What's the point? What is the point of this right now? Well, all right. So I surrounded, one new thing that I worked on every set, the same thing.
Oh, good.
So I surrounded it by a bunch of old stuff, but I was like, ugh, it's a long way to go for that.
It's not fun. It's not as much fun. I have a great new addition to 2 jokes and that I'm working on. And I bailed on him. I was like, well, just do the mother-in-law stuff. It's tight. It's I did it at get this, I did it at Comedy and Magic a couple of weeks ago, and I thought it was good enough to send to Fallon. So the mother-in-law chunk, yeah. And then, it's going to be another however many months of strike. So I'm going to be able to tighten it up. And then I watched the video of that set. Yeah, I don't want to send that set.
The audience isn't really mic'd on those videos. Did you record it on your iPhone as well?
No, I should have, but I didn't.
That's I kind of paired, because I have an Acme set and the audience wasn't mic'd on the camera I'm using.
Okay.
That well. So I was able to match up my iPhone recording to it. And so it sounds pretty good. So, that might be something to do next time you.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's just sort of, can we all clap? Can we all clap at the same time? So I can say please?
So it just with iMovie, it wasn't like super difficult.
Wasn't even hard. Okay, well that's great. iMovie is easier than I thought it was going to be. It's I still haven't figured out how to do many things on it. Same. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. I don't mind it. Yep. And then
Oh, if you take Acme, they give you like 4 different camera angles or 3. Yeah. That's a ton of footage. But it's like, well, if I could go back and forth between all these angles on this one bit, or this one section of audience stuff, that might work. But it's like, I don't want to hire someone to do that. That's a lot of money.
Expensive. Yeah.
And so
the word you're looking for is expensive.
Yes. I haven't been able to figure out how to do that in iMovie. And I don't want to buy another. I don't want more software. I don't want a new app. I'm like, I'll just do the minimum that I can do on iMovie, because there's only so much my little brain can take. And I'm already on my breaking.
Right. I'm full. I'm full of all kinds of nonsense. I don't know. I did sets. I did pretty good. And then, but things aren't working. When there's that point when you do a joke and it's working and then you change something because you think it's going to fix it, and it breaks the whole thing. Breaks the whole thing. And then I'm going to have to spend weeks figuring out what the hell it is, or shows, or might not take weeks, but it's broken, Laurie. It's over. No, just do a different bit. No, I'm kidding.
Do you remember the last time it worked, or when it was working? You just go back.
I've got that. I've got that. I've just got to go back, and
it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but it's real, and that's cool. It's then I drove up to Paso Robles, which they just want to call it Paso.
Yeah, I was there last weekend. You're following me because you're going to be It's kind of weird.
I want to go to Utah. You're going to Utah.
I am. I'm doing Boxcar Comedy Club. It's a brand new comedy. Yeah, I'm really excited.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I did I drove up to Paso. Anna Valenzuela, she grew up up there. And she happened to be visiting her stepmother this weekend. And so she came to the show last night. And if my brain is, I drove all day and it's a bit of a fizz.
I remember that drive last week. It's brutal. It makes you hot. You're just in the car in the heat.
$6.50 a gallon. That's how much the gas was on the 5.
Wow.
I was like, you are kidding me. It was $5.50 in Paso. And I was like, it'll be cheaper on the 5. No, it's $1 more a gallon.
Wow.
To fill the tank was $72. I was like, holy shit. Okay. And then, but the guy who runs that, he's the same guy who did that Coronado gig that I drove to. That I didn't know that it was an hour from San Diego toward Tijuana.
Right.
And so, but he's a really, really good producer. He's a good comic, obviously. I was telling him how much I like that coconut LaCroix bit. And I told you about it last week. And he was like, oh, I'm doing it again tonight. And I said, good. And but here's the problem with the show last night. Incredibly well curated, really nice staff, everybody great. Everybody did 25s and I was last. 3 comics in front of me.
Oh, all right. That's a lot of
75 minutes of comedy.
Yeah.
The doors open at 6. The show started at 7:30. I went up at 9:30. And they'd been drinking since 6.
Right.
So they were sloppy drunk in the corner where 2 tables almost got into a fight with a 3rd table. Felt real Central California, Laurie. I feel like fisticuffs were going to be happening. And then I did my Maid of Bees abortion joke. And there was a drunk table to my right who were clearly super conservative. And they left 15 minutes into my set. And I was like, you guys are going to miss the 2 dick jokes at the end.
Oh, better they leave and not kill the vibe. Yeah, I've been having some resistance to abortion jokes here in New York City by not New Yorkers, of course, by, tourists and stuff. But still, it's like, come on, man. This is settled law. This not only is it settled, it's settled. This joke is settled. All right. It fucking works. And I don't need you staring at it. Okay.
Right. Just laugh at it and let me get to the next one. And the same with some of my mother-in-law stuff. I was like, there's absolutely no reason for you not to burst out laughing right here.
Right.
So I get it.
It's maybe this month is horrible. Maybe this month, it's all people trying to get stuff in before school starts, vacationers. It's not,
maybe it's not regular audience.
Maybe let's remember this for next August, because December is always historically
touristy
and and holiday parties and stuff. So let's remember, if this is the summer, August is the December of the summer.
Maybe. Let's bookmark it. Yeah. I have to say that because this week I'm going on an 11-day run that turned into Lyle just came out of the woodwork because somebody said, it's too bad you're not doing Oshkosh. And I was like, well, I should ask Lyle while I'm visiting my dad. I have that Thursday and Friday I could do it. And then all of a sudden Lyle emails me. He's like, short notice, but we'll try to fill the room. So we'll do what we can. And so I'm going to do Oshkosh.
Oh, cool.
You know what else is playing at that same theater?
What?
The Ed Gein musical.
Oh, I know that serial killer.
He is from Wisconsin.
Congrats.
And the 1950s. And he killed ladies. Was it mostly women? Entirely women?
I believe so. Didn't he make lamps out of their skin, or am I thinking of
couches and chairs? He did upholstery. He was crafty. He was a disgusting crafty Wisconsinite.
Yeah, The world's least popular Etsy shop. Well, that's cool. So you're up against Gainophiles. Are you gonna stay in that B&B where
Absolutely not. No, I have a hotel
there?
in Milwaukee.
Okay.
I'm
All
just
right.
going to drive back to Milwaukee. It's like an hour 15.
Yeah.
But and that's and that's fine. He is but the gig. So this week I go to New York. You come back tomorrow because it's Saturday, and I go on Wednesday, I believe. Maria and I are doing the Kennedy Center. I'm opening for Maria.
Wow.
2 nights, and then we're going to DC, and we're gonna do. Wait, no, the Kennedy Center's in DC. We're doing Sony Hall in in Manhattan,
right?
And then we're doing the Kennedy Center, and then she comes home, and I go to Nashville to do a cancer benefit at Zany's in Nashville, and then from there I go to visit my dad, and take him to the Hobnob restaurant.
Yeah.
I tell you about the Hobnob. It's in Kenosha, Racine. It's in Racine.
You have. Now, when you're at Zany's, are you going to try to hit up what's her face who owns it? Because she's booking, well, she books that Zany's, are you going to try to?
She's booking all the Zanies now. And I think that she even has a non-Zanies that she's booking. I don't.
Why the people that book chains, none of them like me. I only attract the attention of people that only book one club. And God bless that attention, but could I have one chain owner like me, please?
Right, because it'd be a guaranteed 6 to 11 weeks of work a year.
Something.
I was trying to explain it to somebody, and I was like, and it's not that how many times has a club owner said, and it's always been a chain guy. I've had 2 different chain guys say this to me. I think you're funny, Jay. And I just want to go, you don't. Because if you did, you would book me, because you book plenty of dudes who don't fill the room, enough. So I could do it, and it would be fine. And it's not like they're at all of these clubs, right?
Yeah.
Like if they don't like me, they don't have to watch me.
Right. Yeah, I know.
But I would love a chain. I think we would both love a chain. I wonder if we got the chain, if that, then what would we want after that? Once we each got
another chain, a better paying chain.
Got all the chains.
Then we'd be a guy comic, and that'd be nice.
It'd be real nice. It'd be.
It's like you can't even say to us, "Oh, we just want to, test you." Like, no, we're kind of established and we're pretty good, So all you have to do is let your email list know, and not expect us to fill the room with 4 TikToks. You can't keep having the business based on people with TikToks followers.
Well, it's that boom mentality that made the crash, right?
Yeah.
And and they keep moving the goalposts. So
yeah.
I guess I have to be psyched that I have the work that I do, right?
Yeah.
I do want, as cool as it is to open for the people that I get to open for, doing the long set is where sometimes the real work happens. There's 2 jobs, right? There's the job of the short set, which is a 10, where I'm just working on that one bit. I open with a joke that works, I close with a joke that works, and then I spend those other 8 minutes trying to create a 3.5-minute bit. And but with a 25-minute set or a 20-minute set, and I want to set the people up really nice.
Yeah,
I tend to go to the catalog. I go to the vault.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I ran into a comic. This guy was kind of confirming what you said about, with your album. He said that he talked to Jack Vaughn, the guy from Sirius, and said the albums that are stuck in it, they're in legal limbo.
Yeah.
But if you were to release like a greatest hits, with like kind of what you did, either re-record it or, you know, just take other recordings of the same joke. Like I have, you know,
other nights.
Yes.
Right?
From the punchline, that they can start afresh. It's just, it's so fucking stupid. It's such a waste of everyone's time, you know?
Yeah. And, well, I went through a bunch of hoops to get him to look at the 5 albums that have been pulled off of Sirius XM.
Yeah.
So, because I do have right now a dedicated album on Sirius XM.
Yeah.
And it's not an album. I mean, it's an album. It's literally Dominic Delbenny was like, "What do you want to call it?" And I named it just something. I was like, "Life is Messy." That's not a real name, but it's fine. And so they're playing the hell out of it. So that's the good news. And then we also went through several hoops to maybe to get Jack to play the other 5 albums now that essentially they're all mine or Blonde Medicine, which does not have a problem with Jack. When I go to Nashville, though, I'm going to have lunch with 800 with Ryan and those guys.
Interesting.
Well, you know why? Because I'm the kind of person that's like, "Oh, sure, I'll go to lunch."
Were you invited? Or they?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
I was like, I don't. I was like, I know it cost me. It'll cost me $50,000 a year for 2 years now, and that's so much money. But
it's life changing. Jackie, I know, I appreciate your spin. It turns out you can live on, but you know, that's money you can put away for retirement. That's actually money you might need to live on in 25 years, you know?
Right.
That's what they took from you.
Right.
And me.
Where the earth, the circumstances took from me for sure. And but I also don't, and there's part of me that wants to, I had a couple of weird situations this weekend with fans. And I want people to like me so bad, Laurie, that it is completely insane that and I'm pretty good with fans. I try to respond to people. You do a really good job with it. And then I do a meet and greet afterwards, and I sell merch and I hang out, and people who email me, I respond to them, and I say, and I try to be clear with my boundaries, and everyone's been very, very respectful. But some woman, I did a gig for a person that has different politics than I do. And I was psyched to do the gig. And here I'm gonna, and I had always, I wanted to do it so bad.
I have no idea what that gig is.
Right. Well, it is, I'll tell you later, but whatever it was, the people that booked me have different politics than me, but hired me anyway, even though they knew my politics.
Yeah.
And this person, I was just like, I'm really psyched about this. And this person, who, by the way, asked me for comps to Phoenix 2 weeks ago, and I gave them to her. And instead she goes, I'd like to congratulate you, but that person's politics are so bad. I can't be happy for you. And I was like, well, that might be the meanest thing someone said to me in 2 years. And I hang out with you. And, bam. And so, but and I said, so it is.
We should end the podcast on that laugh, Jackie. That was a great joke. We'll keep going, but neither of us want to.
I was like, feel free to not say anything, or it'd be great if you would, just realize that I'm not going to find something like, let's say Lincoln was your favorite president. I'm tempted to ask what your favorite president was and then tell you how he killed a bunch of Native Americans. How about that? You want to hear the sad thing about the thing you like? And I was like, I'm not going to do that, because that's not how I'm, how I want to live my life. Right.
Right.
And she sent me a 1,200 word response that started with things like, I skimmed it, and what I got out of it was, if I thought that my feelings were hurt, if she hurt my feelings, if I felt like that was inappropriate, she's sorry. In other words, if you're mad, I'm sorry you're mad. She doesn't know what she's done wrong. And so I just skimmed it, and I was just like, I literally just sent her back a link to a book that I once skimmed called On Apology. And it's how to apologize.
No.
And then I was like, I gotta go. And then she said that that me being mad at her at all was my privilege. That I had that this was an example of my famous person privilege. And I was like,
What?
I don't think you understand that I live on Baltic Avenue.
Oh my God.
I don't. It's not. And so I blocked her on Facebook, and then she followed me like either Twitter or Instagram. And so I blocked her on that, and then she emailed me. And then I just blocked her on email too. I was like, I don't want anybody to be mad, but she doesn't know me. Like, we aren't actually friends. I did her a favor and got her tickets because she told me she was super poor. But I really wanted to say, I have worked for worse dudes than that. And what jobs have you ever held? And have they always been for saints? Right. Have you only worked for the Indigo Girls? Is that what's happening? What is that's a weird reference, but
no, they're having a moment because of the Barbie movie. That's why it's in your head.
That's it, right? Because they had that song. And then the second thing that happened, an incredibly nice woman wrote a very long script about my life. She wrote it about us together and then sent us a copy of it. And then my lawyer told me I couldn't read it because I in case I stole some of the ideas or something.
Right.
And she was at the Paso gig. And she came and she was like, it's down to 114 pages. Will you read it? And all that makes me think is I haven't written altercation yet. I can't fix the 3 jokes I'm working on. Her success is very beautiful, but I can't do it. Right. And I don't want to do it because I also don't want, she thinks that I might be able to get it made. I can't. I mean, I got a 10-minute talking into the ass of a Mazda 6 made, and that cost $1,000. Right. So,
Jackie, how frustrating is somebody else is so tired of waiting for you to write about your life that they've decided to write about it for you? I mean, what is the universe telling you?
She is so nice too. And she was just like, I'm not trying to pressure you, but I'm telling you, it's amazing. And then she's hired like a professional script writer to help her edit it. And I was like, well, maybe that person can find a way that you could turn it into about you. And she's like, no, it's about you. And I'm like, okay, you're very nice. I like you. I don't know you, but you seem nice enough woman. And she also brought me Snoopy mittens, not mittens, things you take hot, oven mitts.
Oven mitts, yeah.
So tired. And but so she was super nice, came to the show, and she just because that Paso show was so hard. By the time I got up, 75 minutes, everybody had seen all the comedy. By the way, the MC did very well, but and he's the booker. He's a great comic. He's a good comic. He did great, but he took the bullet, right? So I was standing around with them, and I was talking about the 2 comics who went in between. One's a guy from San Francisco, and one is a former comic of the week, Leslie. Lau or Lai, I forget.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were freaking hilarious.
Yeah.
They murdered.
Yeah, she's really funny. I don't know.
She's really funny.
Yeah.
The San Francisco guy murdered. He got like 6 people to stand up. Did you ever hear Karen Rontowski's joke about standing ovations?
No.
Anyway, very funny. So they murder, and now even more comedy.
Too much.
They didn't need it. And but I will say Jim was like, because I told the 2 of them that they had murdered not Chad, I don't forget his name, but Jim, the booker and guy who hosted and did 25, very funny, was like, I'm right here. Didn't I do well? And I was like, you did, but you did take the bullet. So anyway, but the same woman who wrote the script actually made she was like, I made a bracelet that says tough crowd. And I was like,
oh, she
stop hitting
emailed
me.
it to us. Yeah.
It looked really fun, but
Yeah.
I'm never doing that. But it was very, and I was reminded at how I didn't have a good set, which was a disappointment to me.
No, because Taylor Swift fans make bracelets for each other with her lyrics. Apparently, after I saw that email, I started reading about it. So some people are making a lot of money just selling little Taylor Swift bracelets, which is
fun.
Nice. But yeah, I would love to be artistic, and there's many times where I purchase supplies and been intent on painting or sculpting or making little things, and I never do. It's just not my nature. And I recently or at some point was like, I'm not going to do it, so stop making myself do it. It's not. If I was interested in this, watching my son take to art when I gave him there's no talent in my direction for dads, it's like, oh, it's innate. If you like to do this, it's innate. Right. And so it's not innate in me. So I need to just stop, purchasing supplies.
Yes. Buying crafty kits. Hey, let's take a quick break so that Kyle will be able to find it. Let's give him like 3 or 4 seconds of silence.
Okay. There we go.
And we're back, Laurie.
We're back. I did Marcella's show at the Ford Amphitheater.
Right, I saw that long shot.
So cool. Yeah.
Oh, it looked cool.
A comic, Haley Comedy.
Okay.
I forgot her last name, but she was very nice, and she took it and she sent me a couple pics. It was so funny. Well, first of all, at the Ford Amphitheater, it's huge. I've never been inside. I've driven by it 3 million times and never once been tempted.
Yeah, for decades. Yeah.
But it's gorgeous. It was outdoors. It's, it's like, performing. It felt like, like
the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah. Or the Hollywood Bowl. Oh. Right. And so, it wasn't sold out, but it was a good attendance. Okay.
That's awesome.
No one did more than 10, it was between 7 and 10. There's like 12 comics, all women or non-binary. Okay. Everyone did great. It was just like boom, boom. So many different points of view, so many different stand-ups and stuff like that. It was really a fun show, and the audience was like engaged the entire time. They were really psyched to be there.
That's so really cool.
I don't know how she did it. Like, I can't even think of organizing a show at the Yoo-Hoo Room, and she's at an outdoor amphitheater, like it's a lot of work.
Right. I don't know. I literally don't know. Remember Eugene Merman did that festival, and then he gave it to Janelle James, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But how did he start it? I don't know.
It's beyond me. It's like bracelets. It's beyond me. I can't do it.
Laurie, we forgot to do comic of the week.
Oh, let's do our comic of the week. Our comic is Zarnagarg, and she is actually killing it on TikTok. So I was thinking of other people when I was slamming them earlier.
Not Zarnagarg.
No, she's very funny. She a gunshot. Okay. That was outside my window. There's another one. Seems like it. Okay. Well,
is it getting closer? I'm not hearing that.
That's 4.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well,
maybe
she has a Netflix special. Her name is Zarna Garg.
Yes,
she's an Indian American comedian.
It's yes. Well, wait, it's not Netflix. It's his comedy dynamic special, so it's on Amazon Prime.
Is it?
But she kind of got popular by doing like a lot of videos with her family, and she talks about, I was just reading her bio, and she left India at 14 because it was like you either get an arranged marriage or you leave. And so at 14 she left, and she started comedy late in life. And this business is not receptive to women. It's not receptive to women who start later. It's not receptive to moms. It's not receptive to anyone who's not 25 and attractive, And so the fact that she found a way and
Yep.
connecting with so many people is really very inspiring and pretty cool. So, I mean, she doesn't need our
Truly.
bump.
Right. But what the
you
heck?
guys might
It's
not know about it.
ZarnaGarg.
Yeah.
And that's her Instagram handle. It's just at zarnagarg.
Yeah.
So find her and follow her and make it tell her that Jackie and Laurie sent you.
Yes. Good luck to her. I mean, it's finally happened for her. All right, the gunshots stopped. Maybe they were firecrackers. They were six. It was six pops, and with about 5 seconds in between. So I don't know. Maybe that's a firecracker. I have no idea.
Right. Instead of some sort of assassination.
Right.
Did you ever see the Clint Eastwood movie? I might have shot 5. I might have shot 6. You feel lucky, punk? Anyway,
oh yeah.
So I think it was I think it was the first Dirty Harry.
It's so many comedians did an impression of him that I vowed to never see a Clint Eastwood movie because I hated all the impressions. Like certain things have been ruined for me. And same with Schwarzenegger. Like I never need to see a single fucking thing he's in because all I heard was male headliners closing on a Schwarzenegger impression for like a 15
I had a hard time.
Pace.
Jack Nicholson, The Godfather, just literally just two. Well, the thing, I've seen all of Clint Eastwood's work. Actually, I stopped at Unforgiven. When he started talking to that chair at the Republican convention, I had to wrap it up. I'm like, I'm good.
So I did see him.
I don't need. Yeah. Unforgiven was great. Actually, it was the anti-cowboy movie that was, and I really like cowboy. I used to watch cowboy movies with my dad, and so I really liked him. Yep, gonna see him. Gonna go to the Hobnob. Darla's driving down. Phil's driving down. Russ and Sue might come, but my nephew Eric is going to get his PhD in Washington D.C. at some college in cybersecurity. I don't know what it all means, but
Jesus Christ, is he going to Georgetown or? No,
I don't think he's going to the fancy ones. I think it's just a normal.
Wow.
It might be, but whatever it is, he doesn't need another degree. But
brains in your family.
Well, fake it till you make it. We don't have imposter syndrome, that's for sure.
We don't. On either side, like I would say my sister is the smartest because she's a doctor, but after that, there's a huge drop off. Like on both sides of the family, after that. But damn, I don't think we have any PhDs. I'm trying to think. I don't think so.
I think that everybody who has a PhD, it's just Russ's family. And it's because he married a doctor and he literally said, I want us to be doctor and doctor. And so he got his PhD in like urban studies, probably economics, actually. I have no idea what he got.
I mean, I look at some of my family, like my cousins, whatever. It's interesting who the person you bring into the family is so fucking important,
It's super, it changes the dynamic and the possibilities, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. It can either raise the bar or lower the bar,
Right. Yeah.
It is.
I'm
not going to name names.
Me neither. And I'm just like looking at it like a scientist almost, where you're like, all right, this little cluster did okay. This little cluster did not, but they were from the same DNA. So what happened? And then you just look at who they brought in, the family, and it's like, it's just, it's interesting. I don't know. I'd like to, I wish I could live 150 years to see how it keeps going,
Right. Yeah. I have to say that I wish to talk about stand-up comedy again.
Okay.
And it is because tomorrow I sent out an email list, and Melanie VC of promotionalrescue.com told me that I wasn't supposed to post it to Facebook and Twitter like I've been doing forever. I should just, like, everybody who is on my email list, they get the advantage of finding out about stuff. Like, because tomorrow I'm doing a Zoom show. And then I'm also doing West Side. I'm doing Santa Monica. It'll be over by Monday. So sorry. But if you join my email list, you, I guess, will find out. Go to JackieCation.com. Keep scrolling. Harder to get on the damn thing than to get off it. There's an unsubscribe button on every email. So I don't know what the numbers are. Like, I was looking at the numbers, pretty good. I want to look at sort of like the open rate. And if anybody, like, because when we did the Zoom shows, people had to email me for the link. This thing is done by somebody else, I think some San Francisco comics, and they have an Eventbrite. So it's just easier. Or it's just more show like, you go sign up there, then you get the link that way. And I just think, because when we did the Zoom show, and we should do another one.
I was just gonna say, in fact, before you brought that up, I was gonna mention we should do one, because we got our second, we put up our Helen Hong episode for the Patreon, $5 and up. You get to hear us talk to another comic. That was a really good one. We talked about it was real. Yeah, for sure. And so that's up. And if you join, you can listen to it. But yeah, we should do, because we were late on it, we should do a Zoom for our Patreon and for our Max Fun people, like maybe this week or something. I'm home this week, so maybe, I don't know if you can squeeze it in.
Between New York and DC and Nashville, I think. Crazy, but maybe next week. Okay. And but we'll definitely do it. I like the idea of doing it. Can I? But I
just to go back to the Marcella show. Sherry Cola was on it, and did you see Joyride?
Oh no, I never did. But I heard about it.
Hilarious and joy. I mean, it didn't stay in the theaters long enough, but it was really funny. It was raunchy. I told you I took my son, and there's a sex scene where I was like, "Oh my god." But
we don't need to be together to see this.
I know. I'm like, oh, but so she was there, and she has what I would say the scratchy voice comedy gift that Jen Kirkman has and Blair Scocci have, which is that really, it's such a great stand-up voice. That's why you should keep coughing, Jackie, because you're getting it.
Right. Because it's happening right now. I'm having some issues. I got to be on a cartoon that is out on Apple TV. And and so I want to do more voiceover stuff and put it up on vision board. And I feel like it worked out. Just one episode of a show on Apple TV called Strange Planet.
Oh, neat.
And and then I think it's I really like his webcomic. It's very sweet. He also does these weird things on Instagram where he has footage of pigeons in New York, and then he gives them clip art and makes them say things where it's just silly and very funny. Looks like a lot of work, quite honestly. But he's one of the art guys who is willing to spend a couple hours doing a funny art thing. So I get it. Yeah. And the only other weird fan thing, somebody got a little intense with me here in LA. It was one of the LA shows where someone was like, they were, it's, people are overwhelmed right now. I mean, there's a lot of anxiety in the world. And so I try to be as fine, but she was standing too close, sort of talking about how psyched she was to meet me. And could she have a picture? And I was like, yes, let us stand next to each other. A selfie, because it's a little you can totally have a selfie, everyone. Attainable goal to get you can meet this is available. I got the prototype for my hat that I'm psyched about, and I'm hoping to get those.
I ordered some pins from Sticker Mule.
You're gonna try an enamel pin?
Instead of shirts. Same design. I love the Jeff Tice design. It's really funny to me. But
it's very
I'll
funny.
try pins and see how it goes. bring those to
I
Seattle.
think pins actually with that design is a great idea. Yeah.
Yeah, it's small. I guess, men were not comfortable wearing a shirt with me riding a centaur. That's what I was told by men. I'm like, all right, whatever, pussies. At the
Okay.
amphitheater gig, so we were like, after, there's just this little area where we comics could hang out before or after our sets and watch the show. And we were just taking pictures with our cell phones, and security's like, you can't do that. I'm like, I was just up there 5 minutes ago. I know you can't do that. So we were all sort of ushered out. It was kind of weird.
That is weird. I have to tell you, this is it's gonna sound one-up-ish, except for that board gig sounds like it was super fun. When I opened for Brian Regan at Carnegie Hall, allow me to pick up the name I've
It
dropped.
is one-ish. Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, it
Thank
feels
you for letting
jackassery,
me
but
have a Ford amphitheater moment.
I'm just saying, neither one of us were allowed to watch each other's sets. We couldn't watch our shows. We
Why?
couldn't go into the showroom without a ticket and a seat, according to the union and according to the theater, Carnegie Hall.
That's nuts. Did they have monitors for you to watch?
Nope. Brian was irritated. And I don't know if you've ever seen Brian Regan irritated. It looks almost exactly like when he's not irritated. It's chilling. But you can tell if you hang around with them enough.
Sure. Should we
Hey,
pause
let's
for a
take
sec? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's take one. Okay. And
All right,
we're back.
All right. So I'm in New York City. COVID rates are through the roof. The club I was at, the booker said 5 comics had canceled this week spots because they had COVID, which means at least 15 comics had COVID.
Right.
10 of them wouldn't
And then
cancel, right?
Wouldn't cancel, would just breathe.
It's just weird to be talking to people that are, a couple people I really like were like, yeah, I've had it 3 times. And I'm like, oh God, what the fuck? You can't get it. You can't keep getting it. And to just kind of be like mentally over it while it's surging. Yeah. It's just so, it's so strange. I was trying to think, is there something else? Is there something that maybe there's something I'm completely blowing up because my brain can't handle it. And other people are, have their hair on fire.
No, everybody else is just bored and willing to die. And literally, I don't think they're just like, well, I did everything I could do. And you're like, well, I'm going. You could do other things and you would continue to not get it. But nobody in Paso Robles was wearing a mask at any time.
And I just don't. I'm like, are you guys not? Well, they are not reading the same things I'm reading about potential long COVID and the damp. Like, it's just so crazy. Like, this weekend, I was masking all the time. It just, when I was up on stage, I would take it off. I take it off before I get up on stage because I could tell it was irritating people when they would look at me. So I was like, I don't want to take it off on stage.
Right, you were getting a hairy eyeball. Yeah.
Yes. But it was just, it's weird. And that was just a little bit. It was mostly people that just don't give a shit anymore and they're tired of thinking about it. And I'm thinking, well, is this like when people start talking about the economy and how these things are super fragile and everyone should be worried about this, and you're just like, I can't do anything about it. I can't think about it. I'm sorry. This is a you problem. I won't, even though it could collapse on me, I can't deal with it. And maybe COVID's that way for a lot of people. It's so crazy.
COVID's like that. Gun violence is like that. Natural disasters are like that. The climate change stuff. And, all of that stuff is happening so stacked on top of each other. There was a shooting today or last night in Minneapolis, 6 people killed at a punk rock.
No, really?
Yeah. At a concert. Yeah. And I didn't hear about it. I heard about it on Blue Sky. I joined Blue Sky.
Oh.
Which, by the way, is almost exact. It's made by Jack. It looks like Twitter.
I know.
I am psyched to join it because right now I'm treating it like the reason I joined Twitter was so I could follow my friend Kelly Fitzgerald. and she said it was going to be fun.
Mhm.
And so she hasn't posted yet.
Why?
But Darla's on there, and yeah.
I mean, the guy who sold the thing he made to an asshole started a new thing, which is exactly like the thing he made. I don't understand why he did either of those things. Why not just keep Twitter and make it better? I don't get it. So I don't trust him. I don't want to invest myself in this app. There's already too many things I've been posting on. You know, I don't need another Twitter. You know, TikTok is another Instagram, and I don't need a second Twitter. So no.
Yeah. Fair enough. But I do like, because I followed all the kind of the news people. I do like I like following like news nerds who also post where they got the news.
Yeah.
Like that was my favorite thing about Twitter when it was good, is that people always put their sources. And I was like, yes, this is what I'm looking for.
Right.
So like one of the first people I followed was Ted Leo. And
oh yeah.
Isn't he's got musician? No, he's isn't he a New York comic?
No, he's a musician.
Or have I just been following? Oh, is he? Well, then
yeah.
I've always thought of maybe his songs are funny. God,
Ted Leo, who's a representative, SoCal rep, House rep, and then I don't know of any Teds that are in the new, like journalists, like famous journalist Teds. But
right.
I don't know, Jackie. It's also 2 a.m. almost, and I did 5 sets.
Oh yeah, we're real close to being
incredibly unsatisfied.
So yeah, no, he's a comic. Ted Leo.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's a New York guy. I'm probably wrong. Whatever it was, I've always liked his Twitter feed. So when I saw his name, I was like, oh, I like that guy. And so I'm looking forward. I had lunch, or we both picked up to go before my set. Chris Hardwick, who's living over in Paso.
Interesting. In Paso Robles?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. Is Hearst Castle near there? I think it is, kind of.
It is, and they could stay there if they wanted to, because he's married to Patty Hearst's daughter, who has a name and a job. She's a model, but they have a kid, 1.5 years old, and and so and everyone, that was the other thing, is someone was like, well, didn't he get Me Too'd? And I was like, he was in a shitty girlfriend. I met his girlfriend they both seemed completely bananas. And I know that he's been working on himself for these 20 years. And I'm willing to give that guy, I think everybody deserves a second chance except Bill Cosby, right? And if they're sincere and smart and with their lives,
Okay. I don't know him, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Right. I do think it must be wild to have Patty Hearst as a mother-in-law. I mean, that's one of the first news stories I remember from my childhood, because this happened in the Bay Area, her kidnapping, by the SLA, like that picture of her as Tanya. Oh my God, it was crazy. I remember that so distinctly when I saw that.
What does SLA stand for?
The Symbionese Liberation Army. That was the terrorist group that kidnapped her. And and after she was released or freed or whatever, she married her bodyguard named Bernie something, and that's Lydia's father.
Stockholm? Was it Bernie Stockholm?
But yeah, what a crazy, and I guess she kind of maneuvered out of all that and led what would be as normal of life as you can after that.
As a Hearst? Yeah.
As a Hearst.
I will say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, hey guys, knock it off.
The dogs.
The dogs. If you can't hear them, that's a good thing. But Lydia Hearst, when Chris used to this joke about when they that he insisted on a prenup because he didn't want her to get a hold of her at his at midnight money, and she could not stop laughing. So
Jackie, when can I have those kind of laughs with my boyfriend? When can I?
Right. Right. Let's we should spend an episode writing down what you want out of a boyfriend. Put it out into the universe.
Well,
though I've been watching Selena and Chef and Selena Gomez on Max.
Yeah.
And she keeps talking about how she can't date. Nobody will date her. And I was like, you are incorrect.
I think it must be very weird to be famous and try to date somebody. How is she going to go on Hinge and just select somebody? It's so strange. You know, thankfully,
it would be really hard.
My career's not put me in that position.
Oh, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how close a fan will stand next to you, friend. So perfectly nice woman. I want to be nice to everybody. I swear to God. I feel like we're 6 minutes out.
We're close. It turns out I'm doing a comedy festival in Telluride in mid-September.
Where's that?
Colorado. It's one of the, it's part of like the Aspen Vale, Telluride trinity of wealthy ski towns. And it's not a lot of money, but it's going to be fun. I'm promised. And I'm going to fly in a day early so I get to spend like all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday there, and then fly back on Monday. So I will have time to get acclimated, I hope, and not be vomiting like I almost did in Vail.
Comedy camp. And also get those Boost oxygen tanks.
Oh, yeah.
They're portable oxygen. I always get them when I do the Comedy Works because I have terrible altitude sickness, even in Denver.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So
I can't imagine. I think Telluride's and all of those Aspen business, that's even higher.
The work I did to save them money on the airfare, I would like that money given to me, but it won't be. Because the original, like I worked out the airfare. It was like almost $1,000. And I'm like, I said to Bruce, and I don't want to bring Bruce into this because I'm not getting paid very much. So for him to have to work for a very minuscule commission, what's the point? But I was like, if I buy this plane ticket, I have to, you've got to money. This is ridiculous. And then I was like, why don't I fly in the day before? You know, it's Telluride, there's going to be a layover. And if I miss, you know, whatever. The day before, leaving on Thursday was $1,500 flight. And I'm like, I refuse to buy this. I don't believe you're going to reimburse me. Right. Yeah. And then they said, you can fly in and out of Grand Junction. By the way, they would have reimbursed me, but it was like, I was just saying, this is unbelievable to me. I don't believe it. And then Grand Junction was, not only is it $600, but it's out of Burbank.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So everything got a lot better.
Yeah. It's so funny. The guy in Lowell, Arkansas was like, he has airplanes. So he's like, no way is airfare $1,000. And so I screenshot and sent him, you know, to get to Lowell, Arkansas is actually, you have to fly into either Tulsa or Little Rock. Yeah. And then drive. And it's not cheap to get to either of those places.
So this guy flies himself everywhere, and he didn't think,
doesn't understand
maybe I'm wrong about
retail.
Oh my
God. Commercial. And so I don't know, like the last I heard from him, I was like, here you go. And then he said he was going to run by by his partners or something. And which, matter of fact, I think I should probably ping him on Monday. Okay. Here's my favorite thing about that gig is that it's in Lowell, Arkansas, is right by the greatest American museum of the Walmart Museum. The Walmart daughter.
Jackie, you're not selling this gig on me with that.
Crystal Bridges, that's what it's called. Crystal Bridges, and it has the greatest American art anywhere. It has like the original Norman Rockwell, Rosie the Riveter.
Wow.
It has so much cool stuff, and it's curated with an eye to actual history as opposed to Whitey Magoo history. It's pretty great.
I know, but it's like the Sacklers trying to, rehab their bad deed.
It's it's the Kennedys, it's the Rockefellers, it's the Carnegies.
Don't you bring the Kennedys into this, Jackie? They're perfect.
Jack Kennedy was a piece of shit, and you know it.
He was. Listen, you want a quality in boyfriend? Give me Jack Kennedy. That's what I like.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Because he's a little bit of a rogue,
Oh, that's right. You have shitty taste in men.